Hey yo, what's up guys? Hope you're having a fantastic day. It's Taz here, aka Fantastic Mr. Fox. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be looking at the Krig 6. I was actually asked by one of my viewers to check out the Krig. So Keel or Keely, this is for you, and I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. And guys, this is what I do. I do these videos to help you out. So if you want me to check something for you or you need help with something, then just let me know in the comments and I'll try to get it done. But please be patient because I do have to work and balance my personal life as well. And also recording videos and editing videos takes a lot of time. And actually, this is what I have to deal with every time I try to record a video for you guys. I always get someone trying to kill me, even when I'm at the edge of the map where no one should be. They still come and try and kill me. Anyways, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get into today's video. Is the Krig 6 good in Warzone? Okay, so firstly, I'm just going to compare the stats of the Krig 6 to the AMAX and the Farah. Because of the rebalancing of most of the weapons in Warzone, I still think that the AMAX is one of the top meta guns in Warzone. And because of the rebalancing, there's a lot more people using the Farah at the moment. So if you just look at the stats quickly, we can see that the fire rate of the Krig 6 is pretty decent, 650. Compared to the AMAX, which is a little bit slower, but compared to the Farah has a 790 fire rate, which is quite fast for an AR. But if we look at the damage profiles, and we're going to go to the maximum damage range, so we're going to be using the AR's 40 plus meters, so we can see that the Krig 6 has better damage profiles compared to the Farah, but because the AMAX still has a very good damage profile for head and chest shots, it's always going to be on top on paper. But when it comes to stomach and extremities, which is legs and arms, it's going to be a little bit closer with the Krig 6 because of the slower bullet velocity and slower fire rate. And we'll see that when we look at the charts for the TTKs. Okay, so if we look at the TTK charts for 250, 3 plates and chest shots, we can see that the AMAX is going to be on top. Like I mentioned before, same with the headshots, the AMAX is going to be on top. But if we compare the Farah and the Krig, we can see that the Farah and the Krig are quite close. It's only a 0.05 millisecond difference between the two. And if we look at headshots, we can see that it's even closer. It's a 0.02 millisecond difference between the Farah and the Krig. And if we look at the stomach shots, we can see that the AMAX drops off a little bit because of the slower bullet velocity and fire rate. Again, we can see that the Farah and the Krig are quite close. It's only a 0.05 millisecond difference between the two, which is not a big difference at all, to be honest. So looking at these charts, it can be a little bit deceiving. It does seem that the Farah is better than the Krig 6, but what we have to keep in mind is we're going to be using these weapons 40 plus meters at long range. So we have to consider the recoil, and the recoil on the Farah is so wild, it's so hard to control, whereas on the Krig 6 it's very easy and it's so easy to control. It's not so wild compared to the Farah. It's so much easier to control, and you're going to see that when I show you the recoil pattern in the next clips. Okay, so right here I'm going to show you the natural recoil pattern of both guns, the Krig 6 compared to the Farah. So first up is the Krig 6. This is at 30 meters with no attachments. So I'm just shooting the gun and letting the natural recoil just go up without me controlling it. Next up is the Farah. Same again, 30 meters with no attachments. I'm just shooting the gun and letting the natural recoil just go up. I'm not controlling the recoil at all. And if we take a closer look, we can see that the Farah has a very, very wild recoil. It's quite vertical, very high vertical recoil, and it does bounce left and right as well. You can see that initially it bounces to the right and then it swerves to the left. And with the Krig 6, you can see it has a little bit of vertical, not a lot of left to right bounce. So that means with the Krig 6, it's going to be a lot easier to control the recoil compared to the Farah. And with the Krig 6, you can see the last 5 to 10 bullets, once it gets to that peak of the vertical recoil, it just stops, and the last 5 to 10 bullets hits in the same spot. So it's going to be very easy to control the Krig 6 compared to the Farah. And I'm going to show you as well the controlled recoil of both guns, where I'm shooting the gun and controlling the recoil. Okay, so right here I'm going to show you the controlled recoil of both guns, the Krig 6 and the Farah. Same again, 30 meters with no attachments, and this is me trying to control the recoil. First up is the Krig 6. If we take a closer look, we can see that, you know, I've hit most of the shots pretty close. Next up is the Farah. Same again, 30 meters, no attachments. and just trying to, this is me trying to control the recoil, by the way, and you can have a look yourself how difficult it is, how wild it is to control. I wasn't expecting this, so it was quite difficult for me to control that, to be honest. I'm going to show you another clip as well where I've tried to control the recoil of the Farah. Okay, so in this clip, this is the second attempt trying to control the recoil of the Farah. Same again, 30 meters, no attachments. And this is me trying to control the recoil. If you take a closer look, you can see that that's me trying to control the recoil. So with that bounce to the right and then swerve to the left, it's quite difficult to control that recoil. It's, you know, for me personally, I think it's going to be quite difficult to, you know, get in the habit of controlling that recoil. Whereas compared to the Krig 6, it's pretty much just vertical. There's a little bit of left to right, but not as wild as the Farah. So what that means is at further distances, you know, 40 meters, 50 plus meters or so, you're going to be hitting more shots with the Krig 6 than you are with the Farah because of that wild recoil. So what you've seen in the stats charts is a little bit deceiving, because that's theoretical TTK, time to kill, with that means you're hitting every single shot, but as you can see, the recoil is so wild, you're going to be missing a lot of shots with the Farah compared to the Krig 6. With the Krig 6, you're going to be hitting more shots than you are with the Farah, so you're going to be more closer to the theoretical TTK that we've seen in the charts with the Krig 6 than you are with the Farah. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you the best attachments for the Krig 6. So we start off with the muzzle. For the muzzle, you want to go for the agency suppressor. This keeps you sound suppression, so you stay off the minimap. A little bit of help to the vertical recoil. Increased bullet velocity and increased damage range. It does hurt your ADS speed and aiming stability a little bit, but because we're going to be using this at long distance, the ADS doesn't really matter. And next up is the barrel. You have to go for the Ranger. This increases your bullet velocity. The takedown barrel increases your damage range, but the Krig already has a decent damage range, and you want to increase your bullet velocity so that the bullets travel faster and hit your shots faster. A little bit more like hit scan, so you don't have to lead your shots for longer distances. The mil-spec doesn't really increase your bullet velocity so much compared to the Ranger, and it does decrease your damage range actually as well. So that's why the Ranger is the best option for the barrel. Next up is the ammo. I've gone for the 60 round mag. You can go for the 45 just to get a little bit better ADS speed and reload quickness. Next up is the rear grip. For the rear grip, I've gone for the speed tape to help us with the aim down ADS speed, because we had the ADS speed with the ammo and with the muzzle as well, so that's why I've gone for the speed tape, just to counter that decrease in the ADS speed. Okay, so the last attachment is the optic. I've gone for the SUSAT multi-zoom. Some people might go for the Axial Arms 3X, but with the 3X you get a lot of visual recoil, so it looks like when you're aiming down sight, it looks like the gun is bouncing a lot, so it's going to be very hard to hit those shots when there is a lot of visual recoil. Whereas with the SUSAT multi-zoom, that visual recoil is cancelled out, so it looks like there's basically no recoil when you're using this optic. So that is the best attachments for the Krig 6. Okay, so that's the end of today's video. I hope this video helped you out in figuring out if the Krig 6 is a good gun in Warzone. In my opinion, it's a very decent gun. The recoil is very easy to control. It has good damage profiles. There's going to be a lot more people using this gun because the meta is so open at the moment. Definitely try it out, see if you like it. You know, I'm sure you're going to like it because it's very easy to use and it does hit hard. It's not a marshmallow like a M13 or Modern Warfare M4. Also guys, if you want me to do any other videos for you, or if you want me to check out a gun for you, then just let me know in the comments below and I'll try to get it done as soon as possible. And guys, if you're new to my channel and you like the video, make sure to smash that like button, and if you want more hints, tips and guides on Warzone, make sure to subscribe with the notifications on so you don't miss when I drop a new video. Okay guys, have a fantastic day and I'll see you in the next one. Yeah boy!